Have you ever seen somebody jump so far that you were mind blown? They soar through the air like gravity doesn't exist and land perfectly in the sand pit. Well, today I'm going to teach you how to long jump like this. Long jump is an event I've been doing in track for 2 years now, and it is my absolute favorite part of track and field. But it takes a lot of precise steps and calculations and things like that. You have to have a good approach so that you're jumping off of the right foot. You have to really utilize your time in the air by working on your form, and your landing has to be perfect so you don't get any deductions. Long jump is a fun event that anybody can learn with the right motivation. Before you can jump, you have to have a good approach. To start your approach, start standing on the board at the end of the track, facing away from the pit. Have a friend count every 2 steps you take. Every 2 steps is 1 stride. You should get to about 5 to 7 strides, and once you get there, have them take a piece of chalk and mark on the track where you ended. This is where you'll need to start, that way you're jumping off the board with the correct foot. Once you find the perfect steps, you have to find a good speed. Most people just full sprint and hope for the best, but I've found it to help me if I try to run a little bit slower and take bigger strides. This is probably one of the most important parts. Now that you've set up your approach, you can jump. When you jump, you have to jump perfectly off of the board. If your foot's behind the board, you'll still count your jump, but you'll be losing inches because they measure from the front of the board. And if your toe is even this much over the board, your jump does not count and it counts as a scratch, so you'll lose an attempt. When you jump, your legs should start behind you with your arms up in the air. While you're mid-air, your arms need to keep swinging and your legs should shoot up in front of you. But the easiest and most common way to get deductions while long jumping is when you don't land correctly. For your landing, your feet and legs should be landing like you're sitting in a chair. That way your heels are digging through the sand and you're leaning back. But sometimes when you're leaning back, you get scared and you'll put your hands back. But the problem is, when you put your hands back, they measure from where the tips of your fingers go. So that could knock up to feet off of your jump. When they measure it from the board to the last place where like your fingers or your legs have touched the sand. That's why your coaches will tell you do not wear sunglasses when you long jump, because if your sunglasses fly off at the 2-foot mark, you just got a 2-foot jump. Long jump is a fun event that anybody can learn with the right motivation. Now that you know how to have a good approach and jump off of the correct foot, have an effective jumping form, and a good landing, you can be a great long jumper. From now on, every time you see anybody jump so far it looks like they're flying, you know exactly how they did it.